You're looking at the president and the vice president of the fan club for Scott Larson. Hold on to your pencils with all your questions. You're about to watch the hashtag truth with Scott Larson. Don't miss a minute.
Watch it all fall down around you now. Was it ever really worth it? Having your kingdom crumble to the ground because you never had the courage to stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
The stars of High Velocity Wrestling return with Arrival on Saturday, June 18th, live from the Municipal Event Center in Marion, North Carolina. Come see the HVW champion, the Greek Wolverine, Crucifix, the HVW Tag Team Champions, the New Age Villains, and much more. It's HVW's debut in Marion, and you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned to High Velocity Wrestling's social media for more updates, including match announcements, ticket information, and a lot more to come. We'll see you on June 18th.
Oh, there you go. High Velocity Wrestling. And welcome everyone to hashtag truth. Tonight, we have the one, the only, the people's podcaster. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Scott. How's it going, man? How's it going?
You gave me a call the other night. We talked on the phone for about an hour, man, and I did not know. I'm just gonna go right into this, man.
Okay, man.
You called me and you was telling me I did not know you were actually a professional wrestler at one time.
Yes, I was, man. Yes, I was. I did it for five hard years, man, and I was trained by Stray Cat Brody Chase. And funny thing about that, man, I hadn't seen Brody in years. I mean, years, man, since I got out and everything. And I'm at my job. Literally, I'm at my job. I see this guy, and I'm like, he looks so freaking familiar. And I'm just looking, and I walk up, and I was like, you look like somebody I know. What's your name? He's like, Brody Chase. I'm like, holy cow.
Recognize your trainer.
Dude, I haven't seen him over almost, 20 plus years or so now. At least.
Wow. That's long. We weren't on here 10 seconds, Chris, and look at here. Some of the best people. What's up, fellas? Ron Everson of Wrestling Fire, man. Yeah. I told you it wouldn't be 10 seconds, and we'll have all four of us on here before you know it. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. But man, Christopher was telling me about him being a wrestler, and he was telling me about how he ended up having to leave wrestling. You want to tell a little bit about what happened?
Yeah, funny story. Like I said, I did it for 5 years. And I was doing a show up in North Carolina. And basically the whole setup was promoter, he was going to hold the door, and he had to hook up with some people up there that had a limo service, got me in a limo, pulled out up front, and I'm sitting in a limo and everything. And, the boys, they're working security, holding the crowd back and everything. I get the signal. I come out there. I'm just, cocky, arrogant, just dogging out everybody. Man, I'm trying to tell you, if they had some steaks and some fire, they would have burned me. I would have been burned at the stake, man. I had them so fired up. And so I'm literally fighting through the crowd trying to get to the door. And I see out the corner of my eye, I see this old lady and her grandson.
Right.
I was like, oh, yeah, it's on. And I go in on them. Whoo, what did I do that for? Yeah, it looked good in my head.
Cheap heat, the old lady in the wheelchair. You went straight for the cheap heat.
Yeah, it was good in my head, man. But I literally I had to fight my way through. Went through, and everybody in the building was laughing. All the boys were laughing. I was working second to main. And the match was about 15, 23 minutes or so. Going hard. I'm a little guy. I'm not that big. So I'm doing the Rey Mysterio thing, bouncing all over the place and all this. And the guy I'm working with, we're getting ready to go home. And the finish was he was coming off the top, do his finisher. I move, grab the tights, 1, 2, 3. We're out of there.
Okay.
Well, the setup, he went to go kick me. I caught his foot. He spun, hit me with an insecurity. Well, he caught me too hard, knocked me loopy. I was seeing like 15 of everything. Literally, yeah.
He literally hit you.
Yeah, he popped me, man. So instead of me just taking my bump, I'm staggering around like I'm 15 sheets in the wind, trying to get my bearings. And when I get some kind of coherent, he's already coming off. I'm like, oh crap. So I don't know what I was thinking. I go try to catch him, but that was another mistake. I'm off balance. His weight, my weight spikes me dead on my head. Boom.
Oh,
yeah, I'm spiked. So I'm like literally can't feel nothing from the neck down. It feels like a trillion pins just shooting through my body. I can't move. I can't do nothing. I'm literally there. All I can do is blink my eyes and move my mouth. That's all I can do. And he's hyping up the crowd, not thinking. He's like, yeah, and the crowd's up. And
did the ref come over and ask you if you were okay?
Yeah, he did. He was like, "You right, man?" I was like, "Just tell him to pin me, and let's just go home.
Take it home."
Yeah. So obviously that wasn't the original finish, but he covered me 1, 2, 3. Crowd's hot. They loving it, and I'm still laying there. I can't move, and I'm just like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Oh god!" So some of the boys literally helped me out, and I literally look like a wet noodle. I mean, they're dragging me. Wow. I got a wrestle right here, but from here down, I'm not walking. They're literally dragging me.
Oh, wow.
And here how karma works. They get me out the ring, and they drag me right by that old lady.
Oh, no. This is where the good part starts.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking, okay. I'm just thinking, I pray to God I'm not paralyzed. And they're dragging me back to the back, right by this old lady. Next thing I know, I just hear, "I hope you die. I hope you broke your neck. I hope you never walk again." And she's just going in on me. And I look at this lady like, "Lady, this ain't part of the show. I'm really hurt." I'm like, "Oh my God." I'm giving her that look like, and she doesn't care. She's just going in. And I'm like, "Dear Lord." So
so they get you back to the back, and they check on you. What happened after that?
Well, it took about 45, almost an hour for me to get some normal feeling back. And I finally got some movement and everything. And I'm like, okay, nothing feels too out of whack or nothing like that and everything. So I'm like, I'm good.
Right.
But then I wake up the next day, my neck is totally locked.
Oh,
I mean, locked. I can't. If you on my left, how you doing? If you on my right, how you doing? Yeah. And at that moment, I was like, okay, I've done this for a while now. It's time to make some business decisions.
Right.
And because you can only live so long on a hot dog and a handshake.
Right. Exactly.
And so I was like, I talked to him. I was like, "Hey, dude, it was a fun run, but I'm gonna have to."
Now, where was you working? Missy wanted to know, who all did you work for?
I was working for Brody at WWC out of Easley, South Carolina.
Okay.
When Brody was down in Easley.
You had your South Carolina license. You had everything. You were good to go, man.
Yeah.
I got you. Michael King said, "Peace be the journey." What's up, Michael? Welcome to Hash.
What's happening?
Mike, man, I'm telling you, this guy right here, a lot of people don't appreciate what Mike does for some of these guys in the business. But man, I've met him now. I finally got to meet him. I met him twice. I seen him wrestle one time or manage one time. I seen a couple of his wrestlers go. Man, I'm telling you, they're gonna do something. Yeah, it's gonna be big.
Now, Scott, about the license thing too, at that particular time, things were a little bit different. Sometimes the promoter would turn the blind eye. He'd be like, "Oh, you're a good talent. Paperwork's not right. Come on in anyway."
Yeah, you can't do that nowadays, bro.
No. Like I said, it was a different time and era then, man. It was yeah.
Brian Sisk, what's going on, Brian? Hello, Scott and Christopher. Hope you guys are doing well this evening.
Doing great, brother. Doing great. But yeah, man, and it was my wrestling name. It was just simply Chris. It was just Chris, and I basically did the Rock thing, talked in third person. Had the best way I can describe it. I was Brino Royce before Brino Royce, but times 1,000.
There you go. There you go.
That's what I was. That's what I was. And speak of the devil.
There you go. There's the pretty woman right there.
Yes.
Okay. Here's the time since she's here. Why don't you give us an update? How is the beautiful wife doing?
She is doing wonderful. She's in great spirits. Everybody, I don't know if you saw my live that I did in my group, Straight Up Wrestling Show.
I did.
Okay. Gave a little update, but she's doing great. She's in great spirits. Actually, I just was with her less than 15, 20 minutes ago. I was just with her, so everything is good. She's with her mom and her sister right now, and she'll be back home tomorrow. So yeah, man, everything's looking good.
There you go. I love to hear that. Tim said might have to upgrade to a cheeseburger instead of a hot dog then, but you're not in the wrestling game no more. At least not as a wrestler.
Yeah, because a lot transpired the years after that. I was, still able to go, but I messed around and got in a bad car wreck, shattered my left ankle. So I have a plate and 2 screws in my left ankle, so I can't run. But I can, but it looks like I have like one leg's longer than the other. That kind of run.
A little hobble.
Yeah, so that wouldn't look good. That wouldn't look too good. So
James Kiefer wants to know, who was your role model?
Oh, who was my role model? At that time, The Rock. The Rock, man, because
man, I'm sorry. Okay. I so want him. I so want him to come out at WrestleMania, and I can't. We talk. We're gonna have a round table on April the 5th at 8 p.m. Everybody show up. It's gonna be me, Christopher, Harry, Ron, and probably 4 or 5 other podcasters. Yes. We're all gonna be talking about WrestleMania. We'll be advertising it a lot here shortly. So be looking out for that, but it's going to be a fun night. And of course you got 2K22 behind your head with NWO.
There you go. Yep. There you go. Yeah.
I love your background, by the way. You get my bedroom, but you got a great, I have to do that. I'm in the process of getting my wall back.
This is actually my daughter's banner, and it just says good vibes only.
That's great. I love it though.
Yeah, she had that hanging up in her room, and we stapled it up here on the wall. And hey, it works.
Good, man. It's a good background. It's a good background. It's awesome.
Because you were talking about
go ahead.
My role model and everything. And like I said, when I broke in, this was like the early cursor to the Monday Night Wars.
Oh,
when I broke in. So like I said, indie wrestling at that time was a different beast.
Oh yeah,
it was a different type of beast. Yeah. And Brody basically set me down. I was like, look, man, he's like, you're not the best, but we can mold you and work with you, and you can build and get it, which I did. And he was like, at the time, you only had WWE then WWF or WCW.
Right.
And he was like, we can get you to that point, but he was like, I'm gonna tell you straight up, you being a little guy.
Mr. Anderson said you started the Monday Night War.
No, I didn't start the Monday Night. Man, trust me, if I did, man, trust me, I would have a lot more money if I did. I promise you.
Right. You probably would have did it a lot better in WCW. You'd probably still be running.
Exactly. Because they basically told me, man, like I was saying, he was like, if you go to WWE and do a tryout and they like you, they're going to slap a stupid gimmick on you and just job the hell out of you.
Didn't they have some really cool gimmicks back in the day, bro? Yeah. I mean, some people coming out to all kinds of things. I mean, janitors. I mean,
garbage man.
Garbage man. I mean, it was.
They had a hockey player, and his boots were like skates.
It was crazy. Man. They had all kinds. Luke Christian said, "Yo, what's up, Luke?"
Luke, what's happening, man?
But Tim said he don't run either unless someone's after him.
Well, in the wrestling business, you're gonna be on the run all the time,
right? Missy said, "Don't forget the reunion show, please." A
Yeah.
little later in the show, I'm going to be covering like 3 or 4 shows and putting up the posters and talking about a bunch of shows coming up. So don't miss that later in the show. So we're at our 15-minute mark. We're going to hit our first. Commercial. When we come back out of that commercial, we're going to start to talk to Christopher about how we met Harry. And we're going to evolve into how they became a podcast. I want to get into this real quick. So we'll be right back after this quick message.
This is 4 Foot Batman. And 4 Foot Batman knows the home of great collectibles at awesome prices. Retro toys and collectibles, movie memorabilia, Magic the Gathering cards, wrestling figures, Hot Wheels, the always popular Funko Pops, and much, much more. He knows the Hall of Collectibles is located in downtown Cherryville, North Carolina, at 400 East Main Street. Give them a call today, 980-989-5181. Retro Toys and Collectibles, the heavyweight champion in collecting.
Let me tell you, if you live anywhere near Cherryville, North Carolina, Retro Toys and Collectibles, go in. Cotton owns the store. His name is Cotton. Tell him #Truth sent you. If he can't find it, he knows where to get it. I mean, if he doesn't have it, he knows where to find it. There you go. My mouth will work correctly at one point during this show. That's why I got Chris on here. Chris is going to guide me right. So you have a podcast. You are one half of a podcast.
Yes.
Tell us about the podcast.
The podcast, as a lot of you know by now, or should know by now, but if you don't, I'm going to tell you anyway. It is called The Straight Up Wrestling Show, and it's run, and it started actually with 3 people. It started out with me, Harry, and Michael King. So Michael, he's always going to be original member of oh God, I was about to say #Truth.
I'd say #Truth.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, the Straight Up Wrestling Show. But yeah, we started out. It was crazy because, and this ties back into wrestling. At this point, I've been out for years. And my mom does dialysis, and she gets taken back and forth by a local EMT company. Well, on this particular day, unbeknownst to me, on her way back, she gets picked up from a different crew that took her in the morning. And on this crew was Rocky Sayaki.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And so, like I said, completely unbeknownst to me, they're having a conversation about wrestling. I'm guessing he tells my mom. My mom's like, "Oh, my son used to be a wrestler, and he's a big wrestling fan, blah, blah, blah." So when they bring her in the house, Rocky's, pretty big boy. And he looks at me, he's like, "Is this him?" And I'm looking at him like, "Hold up, who are you?" And we just kind of sizing each other up. And I'm like, "Hold on, who asking?" And my mom's like, "Yeah, that's my big lummox." What's up, Aaron? And so we started talking. And he's like, "I heard you're a wrestling fan." I was like, "Yeah, I used to wrestle too." He's like, "Oh, okay. I was like, "You wrestle?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, who you wrestle for?" He wrestled for Eagle, APW. I was like, "I'm APW. I heard of that." I was like, "I've heard of them before." I'm like, "Didn't they used to be on TV back in the day when he was?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay." So we started talking, and he's like, "You still wrestle?" I'm like, "Nah, man." I'm like, "Those days are long behind me now." I'm like, "But I am looking to get back into the business in one shape, form, or another, whether it's commentary, management, or whatever." He's like, "Oh, we need some commentary." I was like, "Really?" So he gave me the address and everything, and I went down there one Saturday, and I ran into Dump Truck.
There you go.
Yeah,
you can't miss Dump Truck. Now, come on now.
Yeah, I ran into Dump Truck, and it was right after his match, and I was like, "Hey, is Jay Eagle around? I need to talk to him." He's like, Yeah. And he introduced me to Rhonda. And Rhonda took me back, and I introduced myself to Eagle and everything. And he was like, okay, cool. And next thing I know, that same exact day, I'm out there doing commentary with Danny Parrish.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
He threw me out there, and Danny was like, I'm a little leery about people that say they can do commentary, but I held my own, and we've been rocking ever since.
I went back and I watched one of those matches. I wish I would have downloaded it, but I watched one of those matches. I was told where to find one on YouTube, and I found it. And you do a pretty good job of commentary, bro. You and Danny was getting it done.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I would say my best performance, as far as commentary goes, was the July 3rd show, the cage match.
Okay.
Man, I have never been so up for a show in my life. You can ask Harry. Right. I literally woke up that Saturday morning at 10. I was on a natural high. I didn't come down till like 2 a.m, man. I was jacked. Wow. I was so amped for that show.
Chris Thunder Anderson said Brody was a great teacher. Howdy, fellas, from Aaron. We already saw that one.
Yeah. And he was a great teacher, man. He was a great teacher. He put you through the ringer because when
Missy wants, there's a place where have you recorded any of your matches from back then?
No, I didn't, because this was the era before YouTube and the internet was still dial up.
Right? It was a video VCR days, right?
Pretty much. And there may be some tapes floating around somewhere. I don't have any of them, but there may be some floating around on me somewhere.
What was your favorite match on that July show?
Oh my gosh. I would have to say the one that really hit me emotionally as a fan, I would say AJ Frost and Tyler Storm.
Okay.
That one actually, it moved me to a point where I gave them a standing O, and it brought me to tears. Because the storytelling was so good. Oh man, that was my favorite match out of the whole show.
That is totally cool. I love stuff like that. So let's get to the point where you meet Harry. Now you and Harry have been friends for years. So tell me, do you remember the first day you actually met him?
Yeah, we were if you know anything about Greenville, right off the main road 291, Pleasantburg Drive. There's a Publix over there. We worked at that Publix and we opened that store. Right. And we just kind of just clicked, man, and he's been my buddy ever since. And that was back in 97 when that store opened. So we've been tight ever since, man.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Missy, look at this. Missy said, we have a bunch of old WWC tapes we bought from them. We will have to check them out and see if you were on them.
Okay. I'm possibly 96. Okay, so it's 96. Okay.
96. Hey, Harry, what's going on, brother? Welcome to #Truth. This is Harry, HBT, as they call him. He's the other half of the Straight Up Wrestling podcast crew.
Yeah.
So, all right. Good to see you here. Now, James Kiefer wants to know, who would you fear to go against? If you were still wrestling, who would you fear to go against?
Wow, that's a good one. Who would I fear to go against? Wow. I would probably have to say I'm really wow, because it's so many, man. It's so many people that I'm just trying to shift to.
If you had to pick one, I know you could probably do a top 10 in a minute or two, but if you had to just choose one off the top of your head, who would it be? Right now, wrestling. Right now in indie wrestling, if you could wrestle today, who would be that guy that you'd want to get up there on a poster with and get into a ring with?
I would do Chris Thunder Anderson, man.
Oh, okay.
I would because
I like that.
Yeah, because see, Chris is old school. He, doesn't do a lot, but he does enough to tell the story. And the way he wrestles,
he does a lot of damage. He don't have to do a lot, but he does a lot of damage.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He does enough where he gets his point across to the fans that he's legitimately trying to kill you, and he's just that guy. He's like, okay, I might have 10 moves. That's all I'm going to use in my match, but these 10 moves are going to really, make you look good, make me look good, and make the crowd pop. So
there you go. Without a doubt. Harry has the most trophies. Luke said HBT, the greatest boxers on the this side of the Mississippi. There you go. There you go. Hey, he was a Gold Glover. I was told he was a Gold Glover.
Yes, he was.
So you better watch it, Chris. You get him on his bad side, man, and you're sitting there doing commentary next to him. He turns around. Oh,
yeah. But when I wake up, you better not beat up because I'm coming back with vengeance.
Hey, that'd be a pretty good match right there. You versus him, boxing versus wrestling. Here you go. Oh yeah. Chris, we could change your name to Sally. Then for the introduction, we'll have a better When Harry Met Sally. Dang.
Wow.
That's funny, but messed up. Chris Thunder said, I have more than 10 moves. I believe you.
I was just generalizing.
Right. I know you have way more than 10 moves, and every one of them hurt. I know. I'm not. You do that one where you twist their elbow, you get them on the floor, you twist that elbow, and you stomp on it. I just want to cringe every time I see that. I just something inside me. You know how you get that scary feeling where the hairs stick up on the back of your neck and your arms. You know the hairs. Yeah. Every time he kicks somebody's elbow, and I know he does it without hurting them, but
it just doesn't look natural. It doesn't look natural.
It don't at all. Yeah, the arm trick. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, but it just doesn't look natural. Without a doubt. So you and Harry meet. You guys are talking. How did the Straight Up Wrestling podcast come to be? Who mentioned it first? Who said, "Hey, we ought to do a podcast"?
Well, Harry did, because by this time I'm doing commentary for American Pro, and I'm like, I know Harry is a diehard wrestling fan, even though he probably hasn't watched it or participated in it in years.
I love to say he is a historian of wrestling. He could tell you all about the older generation and all the wrestlers coming through in the 80s, 90s, and 70s. Yeah. That's why I love listening to you two on your show, because you are from the 90s on, and he's from the 90s back. And that's what makes you two, to me anyway, that's just me. Yeah. That's what makes you two such a great team together.
Thank you. And so basically what happened, I'm watching, American Pro, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, Harry, man, you got to come. This indie scene is hot, man. He's like, man, I don't know wrestling. I'm tired of wrestling, man. NWO killed it for me. And so I actually drag him to a show, and he's like, this is pretty good, man. This is all right. And I can tell he's getting that fire and that zeal back for this business. And then one day we're talking on the phone. He's like, dude, you know what, man? We can make some money. I'm like, okay, how so? He's like, we could do a wrestling podcast. I was like, okay. And we're talking and everything. We're, getting this thing going. And the idea basically takes root. And next thing you know, we're talking. And I was like, hey, man, I know a dude at APW that could possibly help us. He's like, who? I was like, Michael King. He's like, who? I was like, the Asian dude, man. He was going by his other alias at the time. What was it? Michael, what was your other alias that they gave you because you were playing the Eagles lawyer? What was it? It was something, some Asian something. But anyway, right. I was like, I've talked to him, and I think he could help us out. So we all three meet up at Starbucks in Duncan, and we lay down the plan and everything, man, and it took off from there. Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw you guys. We didn't know each other from Cheyenne. Didn't even you guys probably didn't even know of #Truth at the time.
No, we didn't.
And you popped up. One of you guys popped up on my screen going live. You friended me. I send out friend requests almost every day. And one of you friended me, and your show popped up, and I was like, did I just see a wrestling show? Wait a minute. Let me click on this. And I started watching you two, and it was like, man, I like this. I've never had a partner before on my show ever. So it was like, and most of the shows that I watched, none of them had partners. It was all just a single person talking about wrestling. Sort of like Ron, what Ron does. That's the basic podcast. And I'm watching and I'm looking and I'm like, oh, and again, like I said, you saw Harry was the historian. You were the modern guy. You guys going back and forth. You had great, chemistry together. And I was like, man, I've got to. And I started talking and we started. Next thing you know, you guys find out I got a wrestling podcast. And then we meet Ron and all of us get together. Now, the cool part of this whole story, why I wanted to get all of us, you telling your story, everybody knows my story. Ron's told his story. We're having a show at HWA, the Bunkhouse Brawl. And I'm all excited about it. It's one of their biggest shows of the year. I'm HWA fan club president. I always promote HWA. They're my home. They're down there at the end on the bottom of my screen. They're my home. Always will be. I'll always claim it to be my home. But anyway, we're there, and it's one of their biggest shows of the year. And you guys tell me you're going to show up. And I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm like, I finally get to meet you two in person. Well, Ron tells me there's a possibility I might show up. Maybe, maybe not. It's a possibility. So I'm sitting there, and you two hadn't made it yet, and I'm doing my thing inside HWA where I'm getting the crowd all psyched up. All of a sudden, I hear, hey, yo. I turn around and there's Ron Emerson standing there. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't recognize you. I'm like, are you serious? And it wasn't 15 minutes later, you two walked in. So I had to get a picture, and I'm going to show everybody the 4 podcasts in our area. Here's the picture. That proves that all 4 of us were at HWA. There it is. I have this. It's the only picture I have on my right below my bio on my page, because I am so proud of that picture. That is 4 great guys who do wrestling podcasts for our area, and I'm always going to cherish that picture. But man, you guys have been doing this for a while. You guys do reviews. See, I don't do reviews. I'm horrible at reviews because I'm sort of like Harry in a way. I'm all old school. Yeah, all the silliness that WWE does in that. I'm not into that. I'm into go in, wrestle, show us what you got, get in, get out. If you got a storyline, that's cool, but you should tell most of the story in the ring. And I think me and Harry like that more than the outside stuff. Yeah. Every once in a while, you'll get a really good storyline that's, outside the ring that builds to the ring.
Yes. Yes. And Michael King's name was Saigon Sam. It was Saigon Sam. That was his character when he first came in.
It is. Yep. I'm sorry. I'm getting way behind. I'm so excited about having Christopher on here that I'm getting way behind on. Misty said you don't happen to have a good Harry impression, do you? Oh, he's watching too. He's watching.
Okay.
He's laughing because I bet he's got one.
I do. Oh my God. I told my wife about it earlier today. He does this all the time, and nobody probably even catches it, but he does this all the time.
I want to see. Let's see it. Let's see it. Okay. All right, here we go.
Okay. Imagine that I'm you, and I'm doing the show, and you're my guest.
Right.
Okay. Hold on. Ron, you watching the show, Ron? And what you doing? Okay, Ron. Okay. Hold on. What do you say? What do you say again? What do you say?
I will say that about StreamYard. When you put the things up here, look at that, the HWA Horseman. It is kind of small. So, we have these big, thick glasses. Maybe he just needs another layer on his glasses, man, because he does do that, though. He does. He does do that. That's perfect.
And I
we love you, Harry. Just saying, we love you, Harry.
and I tease him all the time. I'm like, dude, you ain't got your new glasses, man? He's like, these are my new glasses. I'm like, what? I'm like,
oh my gosh, that's great. Michael King said he has a Harry impression. Oh gosh. I have to get him on here to do that. Ron Emerson said, I think the reason I roll without a partner most times is because I have multiple personalities, so I can argue with myself.
Wow. Okay.
Always have a good time. Oh, Jimmy Ward said Harry is the Harry Carey of indie wrestling. There you go. Holy cow. Okay, I got
you. There you go.
Oh, I don't think Harry drinks enough Budweiser to be Harry Carey, man. I'm just saying.
No, he does not. I can definitely tell you
if
that.
you guys don't know who Harry Carey is, he was an announcer for the Chicago Cubs for quite a long time.
One of the greatest to ever do it.
And he in his later years he would come to the ballpark just sauced and do a game, and it was fun to listen to, man. Oh my gosh, Missy, do you know who Jumpin' Jeff Farmer is?
Jumpin' Jeff Farmer? No, I do not know.
Gotta look up on YouTube Jumpin' Jeff Farmer promo. He is the worst wrestling promo ever, dude.
Wow.
He is horrible. Great wrestler. I'll give the kid credit. He was a good wrestler back in the day, but he could not promo to save his life.
Now, I would say if I was in wrestling now, the person I would impress.
That's true too.
Exactly. The person I would impersonate now, I would say Big Daddy Yum Yum.
Big Daddy Yum Yum.
That's what I would impersonate if I was in wrestling now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. If anybody knows who Big Daddy Yum Yum is.
I gotta look him up. I ain't gonna lie to you. I might have to look him up.
Well, he did this sell job. He was over in New Japan, and the guy was doing the machine gun chops on him.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. The way he was selling it will have you in the floor dying laughing. It was the greatest thing ever. I've never seen nothing like it. And I was like, oh yeah, I would definitely.
James Kiefer wants to keep it in wrestling. Thank you, James. Okay. He said, what was your finishing move back in the day?
I basically, like I said, all my moves except some of the high flying stuff, I emulated the Rock, so the Rock bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had the elbow down and everything. It was sweet. it was sweet.
See, I hope you at least called it something else.
I did. I just called it the fantastic, most amazing elbow ever in professional wrestling.
There you go. Missy said I need to download the clip of Jeff Farmer so everybody Jumpin' Jeff Farmer so everybody can see it. I will do that, Missy. I will do that right after the show. That way, when they say I have no idea who you're talking about, I'll go this guy and I'll hit the clip. There you go. Jimmy Ward said we may need to see it one day in the ring.
Man, I'm gonna have to knock a lot of dust and put a lot of WD-40 on my joints, man, to get limber again.
It would be sure fun to watch, though, wouldn't it? It would be fun to watch you go in there. I mean, not do the moves because I don't want you to get hurt or nothing. But just to go in there and do your old impersonation of The Rock and things like that, I would love to see that.
Man, I had it down pat, man, and it was fun. It was fun, man. And speaking of wrestling, man, my training, Brody. If anybody knows Brody, he was old school. He was old school, dude. My training. Or actually my tryout my tryout. Well, not my training, but my tryout, 8 hours.
Yep.
It was a full work day.
Again, back in the day, it's today. Back then, you had to, a lot of these trainers back in the day, and you see the stories coming out now on, behind wrestling and behind the ring and all that. They would take you in these barns and they would take you in these places and they would sweatshop you. They would make for a whole day do push-ups, sit-up. You never touch the ring. You do push-ups, sit-ups, squats, jumping jacks until you basically fall over and die. Dude, and then they tell you, if you come back tomorrow, we'll take you. If you don't come back tomorrow, we know you done gave up.
Man, and what was so crazy, it was all in the ring. And I basically I can run. I remember like it was yesterday, man. I would, man. I would. I really would at this point. I really would, man. I got so much ring rust on me right now. It's ridiculous, man. It's
look, Janet says, do the eyebrow move.
I can still do that.
Clean up the eyes. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
I can still do it. I can still do that, bro.
When you were talking about your training day, Chris almost died that day.
I did, man. When I tell you, man, it was crazy. I literally had to run 5 laps around the warehouse that we were in. Came in, man. I came in and I basically had to do 100 push-ups on each rope. So my feet were hooked on the ropes, and I had to do 100 push-ups every time for each rope.
Going higher and higher and higher.
Yes, higher and higher. So I'm basically, and then I had to do 3 sets of hack squats, 100. Ooh. And then and oh God, Michael, really?
Did someone say sweatshop?
Really? And and then like I said, I was doing 3 sets of 100 hack squats, Hindus, push-ups. I ran the ropes, and he had me running the ropes, man. And I was running the ropes, and he was telling me to, which direction to run. And if anybody has ever run the ropes,
right,
the best way I can describe it is doing a 40-yard dash in a 16 by 16 space at full speed, but you're only taking 3 steps, because every time you hit the ropes, it throws you back faster. And when I took my first bump, and this is how he recognized me, going back to when I saw him at my job, how I told him, because he was like, because like I said, we haven't seen each other in so long.
Right.
And I was a lot younger and a lot smaller then too.
Right.
And I was like, dude, I'm face. He was like, face. I was like, and I ran through my training. I was like, remember when I took my back bump? He was like, literally, the whole time I'm training, he's like, I've never seen nobody do this for me. And he's talking, and I'm like, what is he talking about? He's like, I need the face. And I'm going through these drills. I'm like, what the heck is this face he's talking about? What is he talking about? Well, time for my first back bump. As you know, falling on your back is not a natural act.
It's not.
It's not a natural act. So here I am. Some people can just bam, throw it, go back hard and quick. And me, I'm a little hesitant. So he's like, keep your feet shoulder length apart, tuck your chin, and spread your arms, and just go ahead and take it. Yeah, by that time I was about 160. And so I took it. Bam! And I just like, and that was my face. And he jumps over me. He's like, that's it. That's the face. I knew you could do it, kid. And I'm just like,
He wanted you to sell. He wanted you to sell using your face, but you didn't have to sell because it hurt.
and dude, and I tell you, that ring was so stiff, man. Oh my God. I've fallen on concrete softer than that ring.
This is supposed to know, did you ever fall out of the ring while running ropes?
No, I did not. I never fell out the ring while running the ropes. Thank God. But yeah.
Right. Did you learn the arm twist and all that?
Reach and grab and twist. Reach, grab, and twist.
Yep.
And what was so crazy, the way his ring was set up. I don't know if y'all remember, he basically had the framework, the cross wires, the metal flex bars, the wood.
Brody's ring was always stiff.
Yeah, yes. Oh my God, yes, it was. And he had the wood, and then I don't know if y'all remember back in the day in elementary school, those blue gym mats.
Yes.
And you could step on them, and they would hardly move.
Right.
He had those over the wood and a thin piece of foam, and then the canvas. That was the ring.
Oh wow!
And when I saw those blue mats,
you took a back bump. You literally took a back bump. You could have done it outside the ring, and it would have been almost the same thing.
It would have been softer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when I saw what that ring was made of, and I saw those blue mats, oh man, I was like, you dirty dog. Because I knew those mats were stiff as all. I was like, oh, you dirty dog. I'm like, that just ain't right.
Right? Without a doubt. All right, we're gonna hit these these posters right now. We're gonna promote some shows that are coming through, and then right after that, we're gonna keep talking with Mr. Christopher Burton. If you guys, thank you all for showing up at hashtag Truth tonight. Christopher had to work last night, so we had to move it to today with everything going on in his family. Again, keep prayers up for Chris and his wife. His wife's going through some stuff with her heart and stuff like that. Please keep prayers up for them. We're gonna show some shows right now. Let's start off with this one, of course. American Pro Wrestling Reunion Show is going to be April the 2nd. Tickets are $10 at the door. Doors open at 7 p.m. Bell time's 8 p.m. It's at 122 Builders Court in Boiling Springs. Hashtag Truth will be there. Chris Thunder Anderson's going to be there. Stone Mountain, Chief J Eagle, Juvenile Delinquents, Boomer Payne, Ricky Rocket, Steve Stasiak, Eric Anton, and many, many others from throughout the years, from the past and the present. You're not going to want to miss this. There's going to be a ton of wrestlers there, a ton of great wrestling action. Also, April the 9th, my birthday, All-American Championship Wrestling is going to be in Charlotte at 5216 Hovis Road. Gates open at 3 p.m. Bell time is 4. $10 at the door. Kids 5 to 12 is $5. Kids under 5 get in free. And His Pro Wrestling is going to be on April 8th at the Unifier Department, 1025 Haines Street in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Doors open at 6:30. Bell time is 7. Fire and EMS are always free. Adults are $10 at the door. Ages 6 to 12, $5. Anyone under 6 is free. So there we go. Those are the 3 shows I have to give tonight. There's probably going to be plenty more in the near future, but
oh yeah,
this weekend a lot of shows. There was a lot of shows out there that ran, so they haven't gotten all their new stuff out yet, and so pretty soon we will have those. But those 3 shows right there are going to be awesome. You got 2 on the 8th and 1 on the 9th. It's going to be good, man.
Man, I'm so hyped for that reunion show, man. I'm starting to feel that energy like I did for that July 3rd show, man. I'm gonna be hyped, man.
Are both of you guys showing up?
Yes. Actually, I'm coming there in my nicest threads, man. I'm coming suited and booted. You know, I'm coming suited.
I know you're out there listening, man. Come on now, April 2nd. Got to come down to APW. Let's make it a foursome again. Let's get in there and show them how to podcast, how to put it up. Let's get all 4 of us together up in there again. I would love to have it. That would be so much fun.
And this is gonna be, matter of fact, this is gonna be your first APW show.
Very first, and they're right in my backyard. They are literally 10-15 minutes behind me, man. And I've never been to an APW show.
Wow.
Hey, the best of everything, though, when I do show up, I get to see all the characters that show up from all throughout the years, man. So I'm not going to miss nothing. I get to catch up all in one night. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that will be awesome, man. Because I mean, you'll get to see people you haven't seen in years, probably some people you didn't even know.
Right.
It's gonna be awesome, man. I can't wait for that one, man.
William Rollins, yep. Missy said, I'm excited as well. We're all excited. Janet said, yes, we are. It's going to be a great show. Janet, you make sure you're okay to come. You make sure you're all right. We're all going to be asking you 50 times if you're okay throughout that show. You know that, right? It's coming.
Yeah.
Don't get upset, but we're going to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, because man, I'm trying to tell you, man, I'm excited, man. Like I said, I'm feeling that energy, man.
Yeah.
And I'm coming in my finest threads, man. I'm gonna be on commentary and I'm gonna be jacked up. Man.
Oh, I'm coming. I'm gonna have my hashtag True shirt on and my jeans just like I always do. I'm gonna come as myself, but you do you, man. I'm excited to listen to it, man. I'm gonna listen to you guys do commentary. It's gonna be a good night, man.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, me and Danny, man, we definitely feed off each other, man.
Tim said he's bringing out the ring gear since it's there you go.
Man, yeah, okay, yeah. I'm gonna bring out my ring gear. It's gonna be a full body cast. Yeah.
Janet says, "I will be okay. Thank you for all the love." Oh, well, you're gonna get it again anyway. You're a part of Chris, so you're a part of us. So,
and like I told you guys, man, she was the one that reminded me.
Right.
We was before we came on. And
she does such great things with your guys' merchandise. Let's not
yes,
give her total props where it's due. she is doing some fantastic things with Straight Up Wrestling Show merchandise. Tell us about that stuff.
Yeah, man. So we've got t-shirts. She's made some t-shirts, fantastic t-shirts, awesome t-shirts. They will be for sale. Babe, I can't remember the prices.
Made to a cup?
Yeah, she made a cup, one of those long-lasting cool tumblers. You know, your drink stays hot or it stays cold. She made cups. She's gonna be working on some hats. She even made some
carry along bag. Don't forget about that.
The totes, the tote bags. She's even working on key rings and stuff, man. So we've got all kind of products that are gonna be coming down the pipeline. And once all that is definitely set in stone, we will let you guys know and how much.
If you got your cup there, show your cup. There you go.
I don't have my cup with me. It's in my bedroom on the other end of the house. I didn't have it here with me.
Here we go. I'm going to give you the chance to go get your cup. I'm going to run a 2-minute promo right now, and I'm going to give you the chance to go get it. There you go. See how that works? See how that works, Janet? Yes. I'm going to make them show it. I'm going to make them show your stuff up. All right, let me hit this promo. We'll be right back with more with Christopher Burton. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. If you have any more questions or comments, put them on the screen right after this promo, and we will definitely get it up. We're going to be right back with Mr. Christopher Burton.
Welcome back to the Teller Dungeon, coming from Richmond, Virginia. Now, I'm not going to give you a history lesson on where we come from, but I'm here to tell you about what's to come. And what is about to come, April 9th, 2022, All-American Championship Wrestling. That's right, the Tellers will be there. 5216 Hovis Road, Charlotte, North Carolina. That's right, we're taking back the Carolinas. Why? Because they don't have anyone good to take care of them, so they need the Tellers to take care of them. The gates will open at 3, and bell time is at 4. So you better get there in time if you're ready to see the mayhem and destruction that we will bring. You also have to come to see if we've gotten Max out by then. So you have to come. Remember, April 9th, 2022, Charlotte, North Carolina, All-American Championship Wrestling. The Teller family starts its reign again. So like I said before, be ready. Be scared. Because the time is coming very, very near. See you soon.
There you go. The Teller brothers are coming to AACW there in Charlotte on April 9th. You don't want to miss that.
That was a scary looking dude, man. He looked better with the mask on, man. Good Lord.
His brother isn't as good looking as him either. So they're a good tag team, man. I watched them back in the day. I've seen them a couple of times for real back in the day. They're a pretty good tag team, man.
Awesome, man.
They can get it. Let's see. Before you show your cup, we're gonna catch up on this real quick. Missy said she does well. I have a shirt. Ron Emerson said shirts worth $25. I think he's trying to sell you some, man. That's good. Ron, you need to come to the show Saturday night. Ron said we send our prayers with y'all.
Thank you.
Ron already has a prior engagement that he cannot break because it's his wife's birthday and his wife wants to go to another show. So, yeah.
That trumps everything.
Ron's going where the wife wants to go. Happy wife, happy life. We know how that goes, right?
Yes.
Janet said, thank you very much. Okay, now let's show the cup and then we'll keep going.
All right, the tumbler. Here it is right here.
Look at that.
Straight Up Wrestling Show.
That is sweet. That is totally sweet. I love that.
Yes, yes, yes. So we will have those, like I said, on sale here coming on soon with, like I said, the keychains, the T-shirts, the tote bags, the hats, you name it, man. We're gonna have it. And actually, Missy has a shirt, and Ron and his wife actually have some shirts.
Missy said, "Oh, I see. I support you on your show, but you can't support me on mine." I don't know if she's talking to you or me. Hey, I support you.
I'm going to be there.
Like, you and Luke opened my show tonight, so I know you get the support. Slow down. Afraid of the soap. What?
I guess you must have been talking about those guys in the promo.
You must have been. Must have been. Oh, she said, I have seen that team somewhere. That team used to wrestle up with Zach Zulo.
Big Daddy Z.
Yeah, Big Daddy Z up there with ACW, I believe it was called back then. I don't know if he's still running or not, but I believe it was ACW back in the day. No, Scott, that's the 9th in Columbia. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong show, but he's got a prior engagement. On my birthday, he's gonna be in Columbia. Okay, I got you. Wife trumps all above. Sorry, Ron, for all the trash talk.
Man, yeah, that is so true though. Yeah.
That's it. Without a doubt, man. Hey, if my wife wants to go somewhere, that's where we go. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, man.
And usually it's HWA, so I'm happy anyway.
Yeah, and I'm lucky, man, because on my wife's birthday, we got the best of both worlds. We had to be at a show at Uprise Wrestling in Hendersonville on her birthday.
It's great company too.
Yeah, and luckily for us, they moved the bell time up, so we were able to do that, get back in town, and still celebrate her birthday and do what she wanted. So nice. It worked out great.
Great. I like that. When everything works out, that's awesome. Like I said, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, definitely.
Without a doubt, man. And we were just talking before the show, man. We're going to have some kind of one of our podcasts. We're going to get together and we're going to have an appreciation moment for all of our wives and on our show, because without them backing us up, it takes hours to put together some shows. It takes time, and they definitely sacrifice things. Your wife does things for your show. You just showed all the stuff she makes. Yes. I mean, and they work together with us. My wife, lets me go wherever I want to go. And sometimes she takes me, sometimes I get rides, hey, it all depends on, when it is and where it is. But yes, all our wives appreciate a huge, we love you. And thank you for letting us do what we do.
Yes, definitely, man. Because like I said, Ron, without our wives, man, we all be sitting in the corner drooling on ourselves, man. Looking.
Rollins said hello. William Rollins is who runs His Pro Wrestling. I just showed the poster a few minutes ago. Here it is. That's going to be their show on April the 8th at the Unifier Department. You don't want to miss that show at all. It's going to be a great show. Welcome to the show, Mr. William. So, man, I'm telling you, it has been a great show. I love talking history of wrestling and all that stuff. Yeah. We're going to talk a few minutes before we get out of here about today's wrestling and what you think of today's wrestling. Let's go through all the shows: WWE, AEW, NXT, Ring of Honor. Let's go through all of them, man, real quick. Okay. Go ahead.
WWE, man, was definitely was what really sparked my fire. It was basically when Hogan beat Sheik for the title. Right. That's what really got me going. Even though I knew about Ric Flair, the Horseman, and all that, it clicked, but it didn't click with me. I mean, I understood it, I got it, I loved it, but when I seen Hogan beat the Sheik, that just.
Now I had a different time when I started watching WWF. It was WWF.
Yeah.
My moment to start watching and really become a WWF fan, coming out of the territory days, was WrestleMania. I believe it was 2. Was that it? Or WrestleMania 3 when Hulk Hogan slammed Andre?
That was 3. That was 3.
That was when I really started watching WWF. That was the moment I was like, oh, wow, and started watching it from there. So,
yeah, because 2 was the the double broadcast. They had WrestleMania in Chicago and they had a WrestleMania in LA because the main event in Chicago was the Battle Royal and had the NFL players of the day in it. A lot of Chicago Bears, William Perry, and then the LA WrestleMania had Hogan and King Kong Bundy in the cage for the championship.
Right. Yeah, those were some great times, man.
Oh man, yeah.
That's when I started watching it, and of course, like you said, watched it all the way through, and I became a huge Bret the Hitman Hart fan. I named my son Bret after Bret the Hitman Hart.
Nice.
I will always say that. Whenever nobody ever has to ask me who my favorite wrestler growing up is, it was always Bret. I just love that even as a heel, he'd take his shades off and give it to a kid. I just thought that was totally awesome. I just always wanted to be that kid.
And you just wanted the shades, man. I get it. I completely get it.
I wanted to be that kid that got the shades from Bret. I mean, you could have went on WWF, store and bought them, but that's not the same. It's just not the same.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it was like, at times you would just want to be ringside for certain shows because you knew a certain wrestler was going to be giving away a towel or a T-shirt or a bandana or something.
Yeah, you just had those wrestlers that would, put something out there or give something away, and you just wanted to be, just have a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
Michael King's going to be doing a live, everybody, on Thursday to catch up on what's going on with King Enterprises. So you don't want to miss that. It's going to be on Michael King's page. So you don't want to miss that. If you're not friends with Michael King, send him a friend request so you don't miss what's going on with Michael King, without a doubt. William said the first wrestling he watched was Georgia Championship Wrestling. There you go. That was my time, man. I love that.
Yeah, him and Harry can talk about that, man. I didn't know about Georgia, man. I just knew about Jim Crockett.
I watched all the Southeastern Championship Wrestlings. I was in Mississippi at the time, and that's when I started watching Continental Championship Wrestling, and I love that. Jake Jacobs is in the house. How you doing, Jake?
What's up, man?
I cannot wait to see you at PWF for that upcoming match. I can't wait, man. I will be playing your promo before we get off this show tonight, without a doubt. I got Ronnie Garvin's towel when I was a teen. Wow. Oh, man. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. I've been a Ronnie Garvin fan ever since, haven't you, Missy?
Yeah, Ronnie. She knocked out a bunch of Oh, wow.
Mid-South. Yep, that's it. Mid-South. William said, Chris, are you saying I'm old? Yeah, we're old. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll be 51 April 9th. So yeah, I'm getting there.
I'm right behind you, man. Come next month, I'll be 45. So I'm chugging along right behind you.
So we covered WWE for a second. So let's go on to AEW. What do you think of AEW's product right now?
Ooh, their TV product, not so much. Yeah, their TV product, not so much. But their pay-per-views, oh my Lord, their pay-per-views are out of this world.
Right.
And I'm just like, I don't get it. How can you literally put on TV, national TV or TV, whatever, a subpar show, but come the pay-per-view, you just knock it out of the park. I'm like, I
think that's where they want to make all their money, though. That's just an opinion. It could be, I don't know. I'm not there. I don't know Tony Khan personally or anything, but
And speaking of AEW, they're going to be in. Not to cut you off, but speaking of AEW, they're going to be in Columbia tomorrow night.
Nice. So they're going to be doing
Dynamite, and they're going to be taping Rampage too.
Oh, sweet. So
and
both worlds in Columbia.
Yeah, and last I checked, they still actually have some decent seats and tickets.
Okay.
So they didn't sell out.
I got you. Oh, so Christopher's kind of hinting there. He wants to go. Somebody needs to buy him a ticket.
I don't care if it's nosebleed.
Hey, that's okay as long as it's in the stadium, right?
There you go.
That's all that matters. So what do you think of NXT, the switch over from the old brand to NXT 2.0?
I hate it.
Thank you.
I hate it.
Something.
I'm just, if anybody's a 2.0 NXT 2.0 fan, I'm sorry, but I'm just being honest. I can't stand it. It's like watching Violent Sesame Street.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can describe it. It's too colorful, it's too bright.
That's what I'm saying. Too many lights and too much razzmatazz for me, for my style anyway. If it's your style, that's cool. I mean, if people watch it, I mean, they must watch it because it's still going on strong, but it's just not my style of wrestling. I don't like all the lights and flares and jumps. I mean, if you have a little bit of, fireworks going off like WWE does at their, pay-per-views and that, I'm okay with that, but not all the time. Every guy that comes out huge, just a big light show and everything going. I'm old school, man. Come out to a song if you want to, but get in the ring and let's watch you wrestle. I want to see you wrestle.
and speaking of wrestling, man, I told Harry about it because he didn't know nothing about Cesaro. And I told him, if you want to know about Cesaro, the best match to go watch, and it was against your guy, the first NXT arrival that they did, Cesaro versus Sami Zayn. And I told him to go watch that match. He called me back a few days later. He's like, oh my God, dude, I had no idea. I was like, hey.
Wrestle when he gets down to wanting to wrestle. Now, I joke when I say Sammy's the GOAT, the greatest. That's a joke, guys. It's always been a joke. I just like watching, people, like, especially when I do it to Harry, because Harry will look at that and he's just like, oh my God, what are you like? Shut up, man. Just shut up. But I do it as a joke, but I do like his style, though. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. I do like, his gimmick that everybody's conspiring to, because time he loses, it gets better and better and better.
and I'm not gonna lie, I did call his number and it went to voicemail, and that is actually his phone number.
Oh wow, that is
it is actually
back when NXT was, just regular NXT, when Triple H was actually running the show, I liked one of the best matches for me. Go back and watch the Gargano versus Champa matches.
The whole series? Yes. The whole series? Yes.
And I don't care what one you pull up. Yeah. I mean, either pay-per-view ones or the ones where they actually just came out and wrestled. Oh my gosh. Them two, if it wasn't for their size, because Gargano is really short. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for their size, I think those would be two superstars. They would be up there with, Seth Rollins and all them right now.
Oh yeah, easy, man, easy, because they tore down the house so many times, man, so many times, and it was awesome, man.
Harry said that NXT 2.0 reminds him of old WWF, just a little more colorful. Yeah, it does, with all the characters and
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Miss Casey Leanne, I got to meet her at Pro Wrestling Union last Saturday night. It was a pleasure. Her and Jimmy Ward were out there and a few others. I got to meet Jimmy Ward's son, who's going to be an up-and-coming wrestler. I was so happy to meet them guys. I've got pictures if you want to go on my Facebook page and see them. I got to meet her. She said, Scott Larson, give me something to invest in. Yes, we're trying. We got Mr. People's Podcaster here, Christopher Burton. We're talking about all the different kinds of wrestling. Chris Thompson said he got better stuff in ROH. Okay.
Yeah, Cesaro is, he did have some awesome.
Is very underrated. Thank you very much, sir. I've been telling people that it's his gimmick that makes him look stupid. It really is. Yeah. I like his gimmick, though. I'm one of the few that actually like the gimmick.
Yeah, his gimmick is awesome, man. It is awesome, and I want to definitely see how him and Johnny Knoxville, since it's a no hold barred anything goes match at WrestleMania, is going to turn out.
Speaking of him, there he is. Gavin, the greatest, has just arrived in the live, guys. Yeah, there you go. Gavin, I can't wait to see you wrestle soon, man. It's going to be awesome. AWL, one of the sponsors down there of the show. You don't want to miss it. They've got a great pavilion, and I haven't been there yet. Another one of the shows I haven't been to, but
it's nice.
It is nice. Get out there. I'm definitely going to get out there without a doubt. I'm jealous of you guys, man.
It's nice, man. It's nice, man. You need to get out there, Scott.
Well, I mean, they've only had a couple of shows. It's not like they've been running for 3-4 years, and I haven't, not like APW back here has been running for 30, and I live 10 minutes when I've never seen a show. That, they got a reason to be upset at me.
well, you and Eagle can discuss that after the show on the 2nd. Y'all can discuss that.
No, me and Eagle are good. We've always talked. Gavin said, Scott, you're always invited. Thank you, Gavin. I appreciate that, brother, without a doubt. Ron said July 23rd. We are going. There you go. So I will be there July 23rd at AWL. So thank you, Ron. I appreciate that. All right. There you go. I got to tell you, man, I'm going to speak for a few minutes about the Pro Wrestling Union show. Have you ever been to a Pro Wrestling Union show?
Yes. I can't remember which one I went to. But I have been to one. It was at the Union Fire Department.
Okay.
There was one.
Well, we went to the one in Union itself and last Saturday night, and you talk about a great show. Kobe Carino was there. I mean, it was Kobe Carino faced Chase Emery, and to me, that was a classic match. I love that match, and it was. I mean, it was so much fun to be out there and to see all the wrestlers beforehand, and I got pictures with everybody and. Got a few interviews set up while I was there. Got to do the podcast thing.
Of course, man.
But rubbing elbows with all them guys before the show and talking to everybody and seeing how Pro Wrestling Union runs their show. It's a top-notch show, guys. If you guys have never been out to Pro Wrestling Union out there, Cole Maccabee runs a great top-notch show. Without a doubt, I will be promoting him for the rest of my life on #Truth. Without a doubt. It was just phenomenal from beginning to end. And I just can't say enough about how much fun I had out there. It was every match had something for everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I wish I could have been out there. So if somebody's got a spare DVD, I'll shoot you a couple of bucks. Let me get it, man, because I want to see it. Because I mean, due to unfortunate events with my wife, we were going to go. Unfortunately, we couldn't be there because of. But yeah, I heard wonderful things.
And that family always comes first, brother, without a doubt. Family always comes first.
But I heard wonderful things about the show, man. So I want to see it. If somebody's got a DVD, slide me a copy, man. I got to see this because that's all y'all been talking about.
Somebody videotaped it. I'm pretty sure somebody. Media, Blue Horse Media was out there, so I saw them taping. So I'm pretty sure that Cole will have it all up pretty soon. But I would definitely, man, I'm telling you, there wasn't a bad match on the card. At the end of the show, some of the people left as soon as the show was over. They missed a great setup to the next show. Randy Wayne come out with his rope and challenged one of see, there goes my mind again. I hate when that happens, when my mind just goes blank.
If I was there, I would be able to help you, but I wasn't there.
That was one of Vanderford's guys, and that's going to be there's going to be a bull rope match.
Was it Antonio Morgan? Was it Antonio Morgan?
Yes.
Okay.
And if Randy Wayne loses, he leaves Pro Wrestling Union for good. But if Randy Wayne wins, he gets Vanderford in the ring for 5 minutes.
Wow.
So yeah, that's gonna be totally exciting. Antonio Morgan, yes.
Okay.
That's it.
Wow.
Cole treats the fans and workers well. I have the utmost respect for him, without a doubt. So do I, without a doubt. I've got the poster. It will be right here in a few days. I gotta get the frame for it. I'm not gonna put it up without the frame. It's going to be one of those that's going to stay up there for forever. That's how good of a time I had out there, man.
Oh, wow.
So tell me, Christopher, of all the shows that you've been to so far, we're going to get back to talking about you, man. Okay. Of all the shows that you've went to so far, what show sticks out the most in your mind? What is the best show you've seen in indies so far? And don't be mad if you make somebody mad out there, because we're podcasters. We make it up later too.
Yeah.
What was the best show?
I would have to say the best show I've seen so far was the first time me and Danny went to Uprise.
Okay.
And man, when I tell you, just seeing that first match, there is a difference between North Carolina and South Carolina. Just the style difference and everything. And then I could see it right then in that first match. I'm like, wow. I'm like, there is a completely style change difference between North Carolina and South Carolina. And that show was it was amazing. That show was I mean, they were doing stuff that I've never even seen people attempt down here in South Carolina at that time. And I was like, holy cow. And Danny, and you know, Danny's been around for a while. He's
Right.
When it comes to Indies, he's seen everything you could possibly see. And he was looking at me like, I have never seen it. He's like, I don't even know what to call that. I've never seen that
A
ever.
lot of matches with Danny at HWA. I've got a stack of DVDs over there in my dresser drawer about this thick, and they're real thin DVDs when he hands them out. They're good quality, but
Yeah,
I've got a stack about this high. I've called probably 20 or 25 shows with them.
dude, I've got a DVD rack, and it's got four rungs on it, and the fourth rung is strictly wrestling.
Yep.
From all my WWF, and then I may have 7 or 8 WWF, WWE DVDs.
Right.
The rest of them in that whole row, DVDs Danny from all kind of indie shows, man. I'm just like,
Sweet Dreams is on hashtag.
oh, sweet.
How you doing, man?
What's up, sweet?
He said any show Sweet Dreams is on is sweet. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, and Sweet Dreams, we still have that bet going on. And the bet, yeah, we had a bet. This was at Neil Koloff's show back at Eastside.
Okay.
I told him and I told Dion, I was
Okay.
like, this move that Sweet Dreams does, he does it off the top rope. And I was like, the day that you hit that move off the top rope and it connects, win, lose, or draw, your match will be rated 5-star by the Straight Up Wrestling Show.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Sweet Dreams? I don't know what movie he's talking about, but when I see you head to the top rope,
he knows exactly which one I'm talking about.
Michael King said Sweet Dreams is the man. He said so is AJ Frost. Yes. Brandon Chuck Brown said, what's going on? What's going on, buddy? Welcome to hashtag truth. The big homie, Sweet Dreams. Sweet Dreams says, I need my 5-star match. He's an awesome wrestler. He is. Sweet Dreams is great. Sweet Dreams also, him and his tag team partner wrestled that night. The Soul Patrol was out there. They lost the tag team titles, and I think it was a
railroad job.
Yeah, it was a railroad job, to say the least. The Heart Killers beat them. The Heart Killers are now the new Pro Wrestling Union champions, but you know how that went.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Without a doubt, man. So let's see. We covered WWE. We talked about AEW. What do you think about AEW buying out Ring of Honor?
Whew. Oh, okay. Where to start? Oh, okay. Well,
do you think Ring of Honor is going to be heading in a better place than it was? Let's start with that.
I don't know. Because I say this because Tony has stated and put out there he's going to be the head booker for AEW and ROH. Yeah.
Why both?
I don't know, man. It's like he's got that. It's got like that Vern Gagne complex where you have all this talent and knowledge that can help you, but you don't trust anybody except yourself.
Right.
And so I'm like, dude, that's taking on a lot, man. If you're going to be the booker at one company and a booker at another, you got to alleviate some pressure. And you got William Regal, you've got Tony Schiavone, JR, you've got all this wealth of knowledge working for you. Get somebody to help you. And I've said on our show that they basically don't want to. They just want to show.
Could you imagine what William Regal could do at Ring of Honor? If he could do the things at Ring of Honor he was doing over at the old NXT.
Oh my God. Oh.
Right?
Oh, that would be amazing, man. That would be amazing.
Sweet Dreams said, I say yes, yes, yes. Tony is very knowledgeable. Knowledgeable. I can say that word. That's my big word of the day. Knowledgeable. In the biz, I seen it for myself. There you go. And Brandon wants to know, did you catch the matches on Sunday here in Charlotte, Scott? I have not, but Thomas Scott said when he gets all of them put up that he will let me know, and I will watch every one of them. I heard there was one match also where somebody got hurt during the match, and I hate to hear that about any wrestling match. But, yeah, we'll talk about that on another show, without a doubt, without a doubt. He's talking about the big birthday bash they had in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
So it was a good show. I was told that it was a good show. There was only one show. There was a botch during one of the matches, and one of the kids, you know who he is. You know who he is, Kid Cutter. I guess he broke his collarbone during one of the matches. He fell or something, but I don't know all the details. So if I said that wrong, I think somebody told me it was the collarbone. But something happened during the match. There was a botch and somebody got hurt. But I hate to hear that. But other than that, they said it was a terrific show. The whole show was great. So I can't wait to see it. And some of it is on Titan Pro Wrestling. Some of the matches are on Titan Pro Wrestling. So if you want to go on Facebook and look up Titan Pro Wrestling and look on that, you can't miss the logo. It's a big purple logo with a Titan on it. Go on there and you can see some of the matches.
Oh, and Scott, speaking of little guys doing great stuff.
I say his name and he just pops up out of nowhere. Look at that. Go ahead, man.
Somebody has their South Carolina wrestling license now. So we would possibly get to see him somewhere in the future in South Carolina. A friend of yours and mine, Mr. Buggy Wright.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, Buggy has his South Carolina license. So, yeah, if you don't know, go look him up, and he is worth it. I promise you. Okay, Buggy, you owe me because I plugged you.
Let me ask you. Let's go back to the podcasting for a minute.
Okay.
How many times do you get? And I'm not downing anybody because I enjoy it. How many wrestlers do you get a day per se that says, "Hey, man, we got this show coming up. Can you tell everybody about my match coming up at this show? Hey, man, can you promote this show? Can you?"
Man, believe it or not, man, it's not as many as the wrestlers as it is promoters.
Okay, I get wrestlers, so I don't know.
We get the promoters, man. Promoters like, hey guys, we got these 6 or 7 shows lined up. Just pop them out there, put them on your page or whatever, and da da da. And I'm like, holy cow, man. So it's like, we get a lot of promoters, which I can understand. You want the business and stuff. You want, I get it. You want your show to be put out there. So
and I feel like that's part of my job is to get them promoted and promote all the shows. I love it.
Yeah.
I won't stop doing it as long as I live. I'm addicted. I'm just as addicted to doing it as I am people being addicted to watching the show because I love it. Any of our shows, man. And it doesn't matter where they get the information, where they get the poster from, where they get it doesn't matter. I promote all our podcasts, everybody's podcast out there. It's just fun to work together, without a doubt. Buggy Wright is the next big thing. I like that kid, and Dreams approves this message.
there you go. There you go. So
I know what you're talking about, Sweet Dreams, because I've started that now. When I like things now, instead of just putting a like up there, I hashtag approve it. I put my sign up there and put hashtag approved. Yeah, it works. Great way to put yourself out there.
Yeah, definitely, man. Self-promotion is always the best, man.
Oh yeah,
and that's shameless self-promotion.
And that's one thing that I'm seeing that's still lacking, and I keep crying. There's some shows that do it great, but then there's some shows that don't do it at all. Some shows get their posters out late. They have no promoing. You get some shows that get their poster out early, but there's maybe 1 or 2 promos. Mm-hmm. Man, then there's some shows that just advertise. Pro Wrestling Union is one of the best, man. They put out commercials. They put out promos. Everybody knows when a Cole Maccabee show is coming to town. You got a few out there that are catching up, but whatever happened to the days of when them promos were out all the time, man?
Man, and not even just the promos, man. just putting out the footwork, man, putting out flyers out in the community. Because I remember back in the day, man, back in the 90s, if an indie show was in town, you could walk through your local neighborhood and a telephone pole would be covered with flyers about the said wrestling show.
Local grocery stores, and you'd see them on the doorway or right beside the door.
Yeah.
There,
or convenience store, they'd be right beside the counter by the bootleg DVDs or something, you know. I mean,
DVDs even.
I'm just saying, man. You know, you got to put in that footwork because, I mean, if you're in an area, if your promotion is going to be locked into an area, promote the heck out of your promotion in that area. Let the community know, because once you do that and you put on a show that wrestling fans truly approve of.
Thomas Scott said, I know, because I used to have to put them up all the time.
Yeah, so because like I said, once you put on a show that the wrestling fans approve of and you're in that area and you lock that area down, word of mouth has done the rest. And you can just sit back and chill because you've already done your part.
You never want to chill, though. You can't,
Figuratively speaking.
You still want to put them out all the time. You still want to, put out the posters and put out, commercials and things like that. And it's usually, the ones that do that usually attract not only a lot of fans, but they attract the better wrestlers. And I'm not kidding when I say that.
Mm-hmm.
Pro Wrestling Union had 2 superstars at their show. Kobe Carino and John Schuyler was at that show.
Oh, wow.
You're not going to get them guys unless you're promoting away. And Cole Maccabee is one of the best. And I guarantee you it didn't take 3 seconds for both of them to go, yeah, I'll show up at that show.
and what was so crazy, because Friday, when we went to Brewery 85, we were at Pro Wrestling Turbo, and Wheeler Yuta was there.
There you go. And I was showing Father-Daughter Dance, their promo from that show on my show last week. And that was a great promo, man. I love James Johnson, man. James Johnson's a cut. He's a cut up, man. I love that guy.
Yeah, that was a good show. What we got to see of it, man. I mean, if somebody has that DVD, I would love to see the rest of the show. But like I said, due to unfortunate events, we couldn't finish it. But hey, we can go back and recollect and reminisce if somebody has a DVD.
Without a doubt. Well, speaking of promos, I'm going to play the last promo of the night. We're going to come out and we're going to do the last segment with Christopher Burton. We're going to find out where we can find the Straight Up Wrestling Podcast, where we can find Christopher Burton, HBT, everything that has to do with the show right after this. And we're going to play one of those great promos that I was talking about. Here's a good friend of mine that was just on a few minutes ago that said hi and left. Jake Jacobs. So here we go. We'll be right back.
I understand. Yes, sir. Thank you. Well, that was the phone call that I've been waiting for. Wasn't the news I expected, but it's a challenge I'm willing to accept. You see, HVW management, High Velocity Wrestling, informed me about their return on June 18th. I received news that HVW will be showing and presenting the past, present, and future. I was told I'm going to be stepping in the ring, showing exactly what the future holds for HVW. You see, I expected to step in the ring and compete for the HVW Heavyweight Championship, but that's not the news I got. What I got told is I'm stepping in the ring with John Matthews, a guy that I have seen promotion to promotion, state to state. He's a young kid who has proven himself time and time again. But I can tell you, John, I'm hungry for success. I'm hungry for the next step. I am the future of HVW, and I will show that to you firsthand. Lace them up, kid, because you're about to witness the Jake Jacobs experience. You're welcome.
There you go. You're welcome. If you don't think Jacobs is loved at this house, there's a whole wall dedicated to Jake Jacobs right there. Every picture on that wall is my daughter and Jake Jacobs, and they're all signed.
and your daughter, we were at a show, and Jake Jacobs was there, and we didn't get to interview him. And your daughter, she was pretty pissed at the Straight Up Wrestling show.
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, she loves Jake Jacobs. She's got all his gear, everything. When she knows Jake's going to be there, she puts on the wristbands, the shirt, the hat, I mean, everything. She's got jackets, pullovers. She's got the whole 9 yards when it comes to Jake Jacobs, man. When that kid came out, he has visited my daughter. We've got a video. I'm gonna have to play this. I'm gonna have to do one of those memory things on my Facebook page. We did a surprise for her on that was her 12th birthday, or wait, her 11th birthday. Because he's been at every one of her birthdays, 11, 12, and 13. 14's coming up in September, or 14. Oh, 14. I'm sorry, 14. 12, 13, and 14 he's been at. When she was 12, we did a surprise and had him come to the house, and I was recording it from inside the house. He shows up and knocks on the door, and I was like, "Oh, can you get that? Destiny, get that for me." And we were cooking supper or something. And she opens the door and she squeals all the way into our living room. And she's like, "Oh my God. She's sitting in the chair. Oh my God. He walks in and I'm, hi, I'm Jake Jacobs. I'm Jake Jacobs. How you doing? Because he knew he was being recorded. And oh my God, it was terrific. It was just a good time, man.
That is awesome, man. That is awesome. That was like, and this was an awesome moment for me. A couple of years ago, my daughter, I took her to a Raw here in Greenville a couple of years back.
There you go.
And what I would do, get all my pictures and everything, I would basically get there early, get some of the wrestlers coming in, get some pictures, autographs, and all this. Well, Dolph Ziggler was running late. And Dolph is an awesome guy. If you ever get a chance to meet him, he is so down to earth, awesome guy. He was basically coming up to fans. He's like, "Okay, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing? Pictures, autographs." He's like, "I'm running late. I'm just trying to, what are we doing?" You got to think now. My daughter is in middle school, and she's only maybe about this tall to me at the time.
Okay.
And so she reaches over the barricade and just hugs him, and. She's like, "Oh my God, it's Dolph!" And just hugs him, and Dolph is like, because he didn't know what to do.
Right.
So he's like,
and I you kid. Oh my God.
Yeah. And I caught the picture. And I put it on my Twitter. And I think within a couple of weeks or whatever, I tagged Dolph in it, and he saw it and he retweeted it back. He was like, "Yes," he was like, "That was a first for me." He's like, "I've never been hugged or attacked by a fan or whatever you call it," but he was basically like,
"No, I say attacked in a cool way."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I gotta find that picture, man, because
please do, because I would love to see that. That's the stories that I love hearing. That's why hashtag and all our podcasts are here, for stories just like that, man. Yeah, I love when people.
I gotta find that picture, man. If I find it, I'm gonna post it. It was just hilarious.
Yeah, me and my wife got tickets to go to a SmackDown. This was years ago. This was back in like 2008 or something. It was before we moved to South Carolina. We were still in Milwaukee at the time, and the Big Show was on that show. And we were like right at the end of the stage.
Yeah.
Going down the walkway, going down. We were like 4 rows over.
Okay.
And 4 seats over. And so, when all the wrestlers came out, most of the kids went over to the barricade, to do what they do or try to get their hands slapped or whatever. The only one I wanted to go over there and see for myself, and I got up early because I knew what match they were, was the Big Show. I can't remember who he was wrestling, but I knew the Big Show was coming out. So I went over there and stood. I wanted to see how big this guy really was. I was like, this guy, TV probably makes him look a lot huge. Man. He come down the ramp, and I'm 6 foot even. I'm like 5'12". I'm between 5'12" or 5'11" and 6 feet.
Yeah.
Well, and I had to do this when he walked by, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I was probably 360 pounds, something like that back then. I wasn't quite this big.
Yeah.
But he was gigantic, and I was like, "Wow, I'll never accuse him of not being that big again." He was huge. Man.
Yeah, and the funny thing was too, man, because I actually had like I said, I'll find all these pictures and going to all these events here in Greenville. Me and Big E, I had a picture with Big E. I want to say before he's with the New Day. Me and Big E are about the same height, and the way I was standing, we looked like we were about the same build. Of course, looked like. And Dolph, I did not know Dolph Ziggler. He's pretty tall.
Oh yeah,
and he's pretty tall. And Randy Orton is now you talk about Randy is a tall boy.
For his age, he's
oh yeah, oh gosh, yeah, man, yeah, he's definitely still in great shape.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Well, we've been on here, dude, for an hour and 35 minutes. We're having to be on here for 3 hours if we wanted to.
Yeah.
That time of the show, man, where you get to tell everybody how we get to find Straight Up Wrestling Show and how we find you and your partner and the whole 9 yards. I'm going to turn it over to you, man.
Okay, man. All right. So I am one half of the Straight Up Wrestling Show. As you see, Christopher Burton, the People's Podcaster. You can find the Straight Up Wrestling Show on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. And you can find us on our 2 new social media outlets, Twitter and Twitch. If Harry is still on, go ahead and post the Twitter handle. I think it's straight res WRES1.
Okay.
If not, if I can find it after the show's over, I'll post it in the comments after the show's over.
There you go.
But yes, so you can, like I said,
Harry's the guy that does all this.
Yeah.
I'm putting Chris on the spot right now.
Hey man. He is, I am not gonna lie, man. He is the brains behind the operation. I'm just the pretty face, you know. I mean, hey. But yeah, that's where you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Straight Up Wrestling Show.
There you go, man. Without a doubt. You guys definitely got to check them out. Also, check out our buddy Ron Emerson on the Wrestling Wire every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. He goes over all the shows out there. He goes over the indie wrestling shows. He goes to everything. And don't forget, we will be advertising soon. But on April 5th, we are going to have our next roundtable, and we're going to be talking about WrestleMania. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be me, Christopher Burton, HBT, Ron Emerson, and about 4 or 5 other podcasters. So if you're a podcaster out there and you'd like to get involved in this, man, you got a good wrestling podcast out there, hit us up, man. We'd love to have you on there. Harry said he'd help you, but he's in the car driving. You always catch him at the best times, man.
Man, that dude's always in the car going somewhere at the craziest times. I'm like, stay your butt home for like 15 minutes, man. Just 15 minutes. That's all. Golly.
He's a busy man, boy. He's a busy man.
Yeah, he really is.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if you know this about Harry, but I will say this out there, and I'm not saying it for a pat on the back for him or anything. But Harry does a little bit of preaching too, and he does a show on YouTube, man. Y'all need to check him out when he does that. He sends it to me every show he does, and I watch it, and I really appreciate it. It's great. So if you ever want to do a Bible study or listen to somebody talk about the Bible, Harry, check it out there too. And I'm pretty sure Harry will tell you where to find that. Without a doubt. Yeah, Luke Fury, what's up? You come in, you leave, you come back again, right? I got you.
He's all over the place.
Here we go. Straight Up Wrestling Podcast. They're one of the great podcasts in this area. Christopher Burton, the People's Podcaster. Yes. HBT. He is the person that tells you about all the past wrestlers and all the past times. They are great together. You don't want to miss them. Do you guys have a show coming up?
Actually, we do tomorrow. We have one coming up tomorrow. We'll just be on there talking about wrestling, man, and any other questions that any fans have. So when we go on, man, just come on. And if you have any questions, like I said, we'll be chewing the fat, talking about pro wrestling, likes, dislikes, what we like to see did change, or what could possibly be brought into wrestling to take it to a next level.
There you go. Definitely go on Straight Up Wrestling Podcast Show. It's a group on Facebook. It's not a regular page. It's a group page. So go on there, send the invite, or get invited into the page. Get on there. Don't miss it, because every time they go live, it'll send you a little notification. If you're on YouTube, you know what to do. Hit that little bell for notifications. Subscribe. Definitely subscribe to their show. And subscribe to Hashtag Truth. I'm on Facebook and YouTube. Also, hit that bell for notifications. And without a doubt, you will get all the best. Ron Emerson, of course. Look at this. Ron Emerson said he will tell you about the origins of Greco-Roman stuff because he was there to see it live. Yes, Harry was, without a doubt.
What did you say, Ron? What did you say, Ron? What was it?
And that is the Hashtag Truth. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.